You are renowned as one of the best around the greens in the world. We know that you and Padraig Harrington have these chipping competitions. He's genius, you're genius, you win some, you lose some. Going to get you to show us a couple of examples. Chipping to that far flag, Shane, on the other side of the green there. Just tell us how the process you go through and the technique you use to get to a flag like that.
Well, I mean, first of all, I just have a look at the, what the conditions are, what the wind's doing, how firm the greens are, obviously. And for this one here, I'd pick I'd take my 52, and I'd be trying to pitch it like a third of the way there, or even not quite half the way there, but a third of the way there, and try and release it down to the hole. And it's pretty simple to me. I would try and get the ball like middle to back of my stance a little bit, and I'd stand a little bit taller, like a putt, almost like if you were standing in the putty, you'd probably stand about that far away. So I'd probably stand in like a little bit closer to it, a little bit back of my stance, and try and draw it. Try and feel like I'm just drawing it so I can get the ball to release down to the hole.
Let's see it then.
And hopefully be able to demonstrate it. Pull that one a bit. As you can see, I hit it a bit hard, but
on a little bit.
Yeah.
Got one more?
One more.
Go on then.
Should be a little better.
Very good. Okay, what about a flag that's cut tighter to you, to this pin just 6 or 7 yards onto the green there? What would you do with that one?
Well, I'd say firstly, I'd say a lot of guys have put this. There'll be plenty of guys putting this week. I'd be in between. I'd probably chip it more often than not. I'd use my 60, and I just like this. I'd try and pick a landing spot. Obviously I know what the greens are going to do, how firm and fast they are, and this is a chip you'd be trying to hole. I mean, that's kind of the way you'd be looking at this, trying to hole it, and then hopefully get it inside 4 feet if you miss it, and tap it in for par. But
and technique-wise, anything that you'd adjust different to the last one?
I would. The ball is not quite as... I'm not standing over the ball as much, and I'd have the ball position be a little bit further forward in my stance, so
okay.
That would be it.
That's it.
So just pick a landing spot, and not quite, but should be able to make par from there.
This shot over a bunker to the tight one, we're going to go to the red flag, is something that amateurs at home might find really daunting because lie-wise it's kind of sand-based, it's quite easy to hit it heavy.
Yeah.
How would you go about playing this? Because you practice a lot of all kinds of different shots, don't you?
Yeah, with this one, I'd open the face a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily hit it actually really high, but open the face a little bit and just kind of, I don't actually know what I'll do. I'll just do it.
You're one of those players. A lot of players are like that. They just don't know what they do, but they just do it.
Yeah, so I'll hit it and I'll show you.
Okay,
you probably know what I do.
Show me, go on.
I kind of like go through it and pull my hand in here.
Pull your hand left?
Yeah, a little bit, and keep my face open, but carry on going through it. A lot of people stop, and that's why they def it in the bunker. Yeah. So I'll carry on and go through it, and it was not a bad shot, a couple of feet.
So what are you thinking about when you approach this shot? You walk up, you see the lie, what goes through your mind?
Just assess the lie. It's quite sandy around here, as you can see. If I go like that, the sand's going to be coming up. Obviously I can't do that on the golf course, but I was just showing the camera, but yeah, you just want to try and catch it clean and just commit to the shot, because at the end of the day, if you don't commit to the shot, you're not going to hit a good shot.
How about the wedges? Because we're going to talk about them now. It's something that you're renowned for. It's no secret now. We've said it so many times that we think about your power, your accuracy off the tee, but actually there's no one better really in the world with the wedges. First of all, tell us what you carry. What wedges do you carry in your bag?
I carry a 48, which is a pitching wedge, and then 54, which is my sand wedge, and then a 60 degree. And then depending on the course, I might throw a 64 in there. But always have 48, 54, 60. And yeah, I mean, I have 3 shots with each, well, I guess 4 shots with each wedge. You know, I call it a half. Don't really know where that is, but it's my half.
Right.
You know, shot with each one. And then I have a 3/4 shot with each wedge, and then a full shot.
Okay.
And I have a maximum distance if I can hit it.
Which one's this one we got
60.
here? 60. Okay. So show us the half shot first of all. How far would this go with the half shot?
It's going to go, well, sea level is 85 yards. Up here it goes about 95.
Really? Yeah. So okay, let's have a little look. Anything you do with
anything
you focus on with your technique with your wedges that's important to you?
I mean, strike. Obviously, strike's very important with a wedge because that controls the spin. So with this shot, I try to hit it. It's more of a straight shot.
Yeah.
I don't want it curving one way or the other.
Okay, let's have a little look at it then.
But yeah, it's just my half shot. I just know I don't know. It just feels like I'm hitting it half. I don't know.
We'll tell you if it's half.
Yeah, probably a little more, but it's more just for me. This shot's a little more. I just kind of use my body. Not really anything else because I'm trying to hit a certain distance. So
the clip is you hear it so well down here as well. It's so shallow with your divot pattern. You're like that across the board. But is that one of the important things for wedge players? You think to be consistent? Yeah,
I don't think. I mean, depending, obviously, you'll see everybody does it a little bit differently on the range. But yeah, generally with a wedge and, especially chipping and pitching around the green, you don't really want to take much of it, if any divot.
Okay.
Especially on these nice fairways, the ball tees up.
Yeah, it's lovely. Really perfect. Let's see a full one then. What would a full 60 go?
It's going to go 105.
105 with a full 60. That's without the altitude, right?
Without the altitude.
It's not fair, that.
It's roughly probably about 120 with the altitude.
That's a good swipe with a 60. Go on, let's have a quick look.
Yeah, we can hit it a little further if we need to.
Beautiful strike. Really nice. But now for the really demoralising part for all the folks at home who want to wedge it like DJ. In your practice sessions, how long do you spend on your wedges daily?
I don't really have a daily number, but when I'm on the range, so whatever that may be at home or here, I'm going to spend probably 75% of my time on wedges.
There you go, 75% of the time on the wedges. That's the secret. Practice makes perfect, certainly has done for you.
Biggest thing for me is almost I want to read it like a putt. There's three things I feel like the ball wants to go on the green, and it's pace, elevation and spin, and it's just how you interpret, how you want to get it on there. And for me, I want to get the ball on the ground as quick as possible, so then it can take the break and I'm almost reading it like a putt, and I've got more chance of holding it that way than playing the fancy shot, trying to fly it all the way, spin it up. Yes, it looks good, but we don't hold as many shots like that as we do with 9-irons and 7-irons,
You better show off then.
Okay. So what I would do really is just literally I'd want to get a good angle of the slopes, see where I'm running it down, and again judge how much height and how much spin I'm going to play it with. Here again, it's pretty flat to start with and then down the hill, so I don't want to put too much spin on this. I want to get it running as quick as possible and then just try and pick a landing zone where I'm going to land that ball in, which is about 2-3 feet on the green, and just feed it in there. As you can tell, it's a really good read there as well on that one for me.
Don't you worry. Andy's made a really good point there that they try and make the shot as simple as they possibly can by getting the ball on the ground as soon as possible. Minimum air time, maximum ground time is really the key to success here. But we see a lot of club golfers throwing the ball into the middle of the green because they think, well, it's a short shot, I need to use a sand wedge. I use the following example to try and trick them into my way of thinking. I say, well, if you stood here on the edge of the green and I gave you a ball in your hand and said, throw this ball into one of these circles, this one's an open circle, but the other two, and said, throw this ball and land it in one of those circles for £1 million prize, which circle would you choose? Well, clearly anybody would choose the closest one because it's the easiest task. But that's sometimes we don't follow that process when we actually go to chipping. So Andy, let's follow that process now and show the viewers that we can actually get the ball to various parts of this green just by landing it on the front. So if I landed the ball in this circle here and wanted to get it to that flag, what club are you going to use for that?
Just like a pitching wedge for me, like there, just a bit more elevation, just because it's going to pitch a little bit further on the green. So for this one, it would just be a pitching wedge for me, just try and land it in there and run it out.
So really what we're saying here is don't use a bigger swing and a bigger technique than you actually need. Make the minimal stroke that you possibly can. Andy can make a very short stroke, land the ball in the circle and get it all the way across to that flag on the far side. Now, the greens here are obviously extremely quick at Woburn. At your home club, they wouldn't be as fast as this. So you may have to take a 7-iron to land the ball on the front of the green and run it all the way across to the far side. Let's land the ball in the circle again, Andy, and now try and get to maybe between those two circles down there.
So which one we're going for, sorry?
Just between the two circles, so sort of halfway to the flag.
Yeah.
So if you landed the ball in the circle, Our landing position should be the same all the time, which is the easiest landing position to put it in. And you can see the difference between that shot that Andy played and the one that ran across to the far side. Just the same technique, but by using a different club, you can run the ball to different parts of the green. So always take the easy option. Minimal technique. Land the ball as soon as you possibly can on the first available really good bounce, which is obviously on the front of the green. And then use whatever club is appropriate, and trial and error will tell you that, to get across to the flag. So it might be a 7-iron to the far side, a 9-iron to the middle of the green, and a sand wedge to a close flag. But keep your technique simple and land the ball as soon as you possibly can.
So, Luke, first of all, talk to one of the most important things for most people with pitching or chipping, just having the basics. What are they for you?
Yeah, I think the basics are reasonably simple, but you see a lot of the amateurs we play in pro-ams with get them wrong. You know, especially with just a general pitch shot, people like to get the ball too far in the back of their stance. They lean the shaft kind of forward, which creates a nice solid hit, but it gets that leading edge, that front edge that digs into the ground, and you can kind of get too much divot and it can get a little bit stuck in the ground.
That'd be the chub and roll.
The chub and roll, yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So, you know, for me, I've always, you know, neutral is a big word that I use in my chipping and kind of the fundamentals that I use. You know, you really want everything to be quite neutral. And what I mean by that is you want the shaft and your spine angle to kind of be in line and be in line throughout the whole shot. Yeah. You know, so, you know, if you get this bad position where you're leaning back and handle forward, that's not neutral. That's going to create issues. Yeah. And when you have neutrality, you can be very much more simple.
Yeah, nice and simple. Let's have a little look then. So we're going to head up to this flag here and see if we can just a basic little pitch shot here.
I mean, this is obviously just a little bit of a kind of chip, slightly running. I got my 54 degree here. Again, I want this kind of a narrow stance. You don't need to obviously gain distance. Again, shaft and spine are in one angle. Let it release down the green. And you see, when I finish, everything stays in the same angle. Yeah. You know, I'm not really changing anything. So that's what I mean by keeping it simple.
Everyone loves to spin the golf ball. You know, like folks at home always are asking, how do I put more spin on it? I want to spin it like the tour players. So just, you know, talk us through what is important to you with your chipping.
With like a 30-yard shot, generally if I want to try and get a bit more spin, I just play it further forward in my stance and just open the face up, and then generally just keep a bit of weight on the left side, which just helps me hit it a bit lower.
Okay, go on, let's have a little look at one.
Oh. So we swipe delete that one.
Yeah, let's go again.
Right,
but that's what you're saying, it's a high tariff shot though, isn't it? So you would only pull this out when you really had to, we had no other option.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Very nice. And are you someone that likes to chip with one club, or, you know, because we have so many different ways, you use different club for a different job, or do you use, because this is your 60, isn't it?
Yeah, this is my 60 degree. This is generally the club I'll use when I'm sort of round the greens, unless obviously if I've got a bit more green to work with, then I'll generally sort of go through the bag and sort of assess which club would be best for that shot. But I'm very comfortable with the 60, and I'll sort of get that out when I can, really.